So I got a new hobby. It's amateur radio. I'm also a professional radio guy. I mean, I do get paid for this. But there's a difference between, what I do here on the air at a FCC licensed facility, WMAY, versus what amateur radio is. And amateur radio is something I'm getting into, and I think I'm hooked. It's the WMAY Morning Newsfeed. I'm Greg Bishop. Don't have an amateur radio handle yet, but that is something I hope to get in the next few weeks as I prepare to take a test for amateur radio. The local Sangamon County Radio Club, the Sangamon Valley Radio Club, they do offer testing with voluntary examiners that are available to do tests, I believe, on even numbered months, second Saturday. So my testing day is coming up April 10th. And I got to tell you, getting into this hobby, one thing that I wanted to do it for was anytime there's an emergency, this community comes together with their equipment and they help facilitate communications, emergency communications. And this type of communication, it's pretty incredible and extremely powerful because you can communicate using an amateur radio with the proper antenna, with the proper power to that antenna, and the proper frequency. You can communicate with people around the world, and you can even communicate with, the space station using amateur radio. So I've always been attracted to this, and I'm not going to lie, this past year has really made me think more about preparedness, especially when you look down the barrel of another possible toilet paper shortage. But, what happens when the communication networks go down? You don't have cell service anymore. Your phone lines aren't working. Well, amateur radio doesn't rely on that. All it relies on is you having the proper equipment and the proper knowledge about that equipment, some rudimentary electric knowledge about volts and amps and whatnot. You can take part in that communication infrastructure. It's very decentralized. And it's pretty incredible, the power of amateur radio. So I've been wanting to get involved in amateur radio for quite some time. And I've had people out there, Line Dog's one of them. He's been on my case for a long time. And Line Dog, I promise, at some point I will come and see your ham shack. But I am making my own ham shack, so I've got some equipment already in hand that I'm having a blast, quite frankly. And it's a hobby that I've been wanting to take part in a while. And I took a lot of last week off delving into ham radio. I've been reading books, taking practice exams, trying to understand the fundamentals. With ham radio, you can legally listen. You just can't broadcast without a amateur radio license. So my goal is April 10th to get all tested up, get my technician license for amateur radio to where I can actually do some broadcasts. One thing that's amazing about amateur radio, which I was able to, I tell you what, I think it was like Tuesday or Wednesday, got my antenna set up, plugged it in, got the power all situated. I did not plug in my mic because I'm not licensed, so I'm not even going to trigger the push to talk. But I was able to tune in to a variety of frequencies, and instantly I was decoding digital messages from people around the United States, and that's something else that's very attractive about amateur radio, at least for me. Some of the older amateur radio operators may not have that I guess, appreciation for the digital modes, but the digital modes are incredible. And to be able to communicate via digital modes requires less power, so you can actually get that signal out further and have a digital conversation with somebody on the other end. Again, without internet, without the power grid, because you can operate all this on battery power. You can even plug it into your car if you have the right equipment. but you can communicate via digital by ham radio, by amateur radio. And there's all kinds of different languages out there. It's pretty incredible. I'm going to take my license test on April 10th. I will keep you posted. Hopefully I pass. I'm going to set myself up here and not pass. No, I hopefully will pass, but I'll share with you my my ham radio license whenever I get it. Real quick, you've got 20 seconds. Good morning.
Okay. The really big thing down in Florida is a big system of shortwave radio, because when the hurricanes hit, knocks down all the cell phones, all communications is gone.
Yep.
The only way they can talk is by shortwave, and it's an emergency situation.
And that's exactly why I think I'm so attracted to this, is to be able to assist in that capacity. As a communications professional, somebody who does this professionally and talks about news and takes phone calls, I want to be able to do it off the grid, so to speak. I'll keep you posted about my ham radio adventures.